North Dakota has anti-corporate farming laws which restrict corporations from owning, operating, and leasing farms and ranches. The goal of these laws is to protect the economic viability of family farms from the competition of major corporations. But that may change now that Governor Doug Burgum is calling on the legislature to lift the laws, which would allow industrial-sized corporate-owned livestock operations. The governor says this will be good for farmers and the state, but as Josh Minnie reports, some say it will do the exact opposite.
Governor Doug Burgum wants to amend North Dakota's 90-year-old anti-corporate farming law, arguing certain rules make it harder to boost livestock production.
Let's take the handcuffs off our ranchers and livestock producers. Let's allow animal agriculture to flourish in North Dakota once again. We need farm freedom legislation, and we need it now. Just as we are leaders in ag and energy, North Dakota can lead the nation.
Burgum points to statistics showing North Dakota is way down in animal agriculture production compared to our surrounding states.
Let's take a look at just right next door, like South Dakota. In their family farming laws, they've got carve-outs that smartly allow non-related parties to pool capital for animal agricultural operations like feeding livestock and poultry, operating a dairy farm, for pork production.
In 2016, the legislature passed a law that lifted anti-corporate farming rules to allow for hog CAFOs. A CAFOs, or concentrated animal feeding operation, is industrial-sized. However, Dakota Resource Council and North Dakota Farmers Union ran a referendum to reverse the legislature's decision, and by a 76% margin, they won. North Dakotans rejected hog CAFOs.
The governor's forgetting that the voters did that in 2016. And I think it's a misnomer that we need to take the handcuffs off, because essentially what we'd be inviting into our state is a large, big agriculture that in a lot of ways has worn out its welcome in other states like Minnesota, Iowa, and elsewhere.
Burgum argues that North Dakota farmers and ranchers can't get the capital to compete with our neighboring states. But Skokas contends that farmers can obtain more land for livestock production by coming together to form cooperatives.
Oh, if we don't do this, poor mom and pa farmer is never going to be able to get enough capital to have a hog farm. But the truth is, it's out of state interest that they're looking to really get to come to the North Dakota, and that's who's been courting the governor. Like, there's obviously other capital structures where people can raise capital where they don't need a corporate structure.
Skokas points to Smithfield Farms in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, as an example of the type of corporate structure the governor is courting that would enter the state. Smithfield Farms dictates the rules for pig farmers who are vertically integrated into its system. It's also owned by Chinese company WH Group. Sarah Vogel, the state's former ag commissioner, is an advocate for the anti-corporate farming law. Vogel's current push is to bring forward transparency to the Bill Gates Red River Trust purchase of 2,100 acres of land in northeastern North Dakota.
There are certain types of corporate farming that are allowed. For example, a family farm corporation can farm. However, a straight-up corporation that does not fit within any of the exemptions cannot. And in this case, Bill Gates has used the vehicle of a trust. But the question is the trust an asset of a corporation?
Vogel is calling on Attorney General Drew Wrigley to pull back the veil on the Bill Gates Red River Trust in order to determine if it is an asset of a corporation. So far, Vogel says the Attorney General's investigation has not been enough. For KX News, I'm Josh Minnie.
We'll continue following the developments on this in the Legislative Assembly, which is in session.